Okay, so what do you do when you're frustrated with figure drawing? Well, first of all, validate that frustration because the human figure is one of the hardest things that you can draw, and so don't expect it to be easy. Now, what you're feeling when you're frustrated is like, I don't know what to do, right? You feel like giving up, right? You feel like, I suck at this and I'll never get good. So frustration's just like you don't know what to do. So I'm going to give you some steps to figure out what you do next. And this isn't coming from the perspective of someone who's mastered the human figure. This is coming from the perspective of someone who's consumed a lot of literature and podcasts on the science of mastery, or it's kind of a not really a science, but you know, listen to a lot of stuff about it. So I've I'm just going to give you my thoughts. Basically, you want to ask yourself some questions. That's the best thing you can do when you're frustrated. So you want to ask, first of all, give yourself some credit and say, okay, what did I do well today with this figure drawing session? And that could be as simple as I showed up. I went to figure drawing. Even though every drawing I made was bad and I can't find any redeeming qualities in the drawings themselves, well, at least I showed up. This is Baxter. Uh, he's a client. Well, anyway, yeah, at least you showed up to figure drawing. You didn't skip it. You could have skipped it. You could have avoided it. Give yourself credit for, hey, you dealt with the difficult pain of doing something hard and challenging. You could have done something easy. You could have just drawn cubes or circles, which is good in its own right, but if you really want to push yourself, yeah, go to figure drawing. It's great. So give yourself some credit for that, man. You did a great job just making it to class and you showed up. So that's the first step, is give yourself some credit and identify what you did well. Next would be to identify something you want to work on. Just one thing. Maybe that could be gesture, like you feel like the overall flow of the figure isn't there. Or maybe the overall flow of the figure is there, but you're missing your feet really sucked. So work on feet, right? Study feet some more individually, and then get back to figure drawing after you've studied feet and see if they're better. So you identify something that you could improve on. Two other components. One would be finding a mentor, someone who can critique your work. And if you don't have that, if you don't have a professional mentor, someone who's working as a professional artist that can, who's good at the thing you want to be good at, who can look at your art and critique it. If you don't have that, if you can't afford that option, then go to a forum like Proco 2.0 or any other number of forums, depending on your specialization. There's SVS Learn if you're an illustrator, want to do like children's book stuff. SVS Learn is great. There's New Masters Academy has a forum if you're more on the classical tradition. So get on a forum, post your work, get some feedback there. And the other thing is turn to the masters, right? Look at the old masters. So like Michelangelo or Pontormo or any of these, great figure drawing artists who have look at their figure drawings. Compare their work to your own. See what decisions did they make? What are they doing? How are they modeling form? How are they modifying the proportions? Are they using more heroic portions with a smaller head and wider shoulders? Or are they accentuating certain things? Because the way that Albrecht Dürer would draw a figure is like different from the way that Andrew Loomis would draw a figure. So figure out the ways that you want to interpret the figure. It's not just one size fits all. It's not just like, oh, we copy the figure and it's just there's one way to draw the figure. No, there are multiple ways to draw the figure. And so look at different artists who draw the figure and figure out who inspires you and whose figure drawings just look so cool to you. And that could be, you could look at any number of artists, right? You could look at more the way that ink, like the Japanese woodblock prints, like the ukiyo-e, the what are they? It's a Buddhist concept, which means like a floating images from the floating world, ukiyo-e, right? That these are like the floating world is Earth, right? So and then it's like a temporary Earth is just temporary, and these are just images of the floating world, or all the images of everyday life. I believe is the idea of ukiyo-e. But the woodblock prints, do you like the way they draw figures? Because that's going to be very different from a very classically trained, hardcore realism approach to figure drawing. So figure out what type of figure drawing you want to do, because the better a visual you can generate in your mind of what you want to produce and get on the page, the better you're going to be able to make it happen, because you're not going to just be trying to copy the model. You're going to be trying to filter it through that. You're going to have a better idea of what you want, which is going to make it easier to achieve. So yeah, find masters, find art parents who inspire you, and just whose stylizations and proportions you really like. Figure out which way you want to lean, right? And then the final thing would be find video instructionals. Newmastersacademy.com is really great for that. I'm digging through that right now with Steve Houston, and so you look at what simplifications does he do, because the human figure has so much detail and complexity. It's really hard to capture every detail. It's a lot easier if you have someone telling you what to look for. Like Steve Houston will be like, look for the corner of the shoulder, look for the bend in the, like, use curved lines instead of straight lines. They're going to give you a toolkit for, here's what you look for. Here are simplifications that we can use to take this, like the head. Oh, there's so much information here. There's so much information just in the face. Even if you just go to the eye, there's so much information. How do we simplify that? That's the challenge. And get someone who's much better than you and much further along to explain this stuff to you. Don't try to do it by yourself. It's like trying to learn Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu by yourself. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or any other martial art. If you try to learn that by yourself, good freaking luck trying to teach yourself Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You could work on that your entire life and not get as good as, a blue belt, right? If you try to do it by yourself. Because this stuff has been handed down from the masters for years and years and years. So don't try to do it by yourself. Find people who are much better than you and learn from them. They will tell you the simplifications that they learned from their teachers. So utilize the resources that you have online and watch tutorials. It will save you so much time. Even if it costs you 15 minutes a day to watch a video, you save hours, you save years. You're going to be able to achieve so much more if you go and get that knowledge. And so what if you have to pay for it? So what if you have to pay for a subscription to New Masters Academy? Or so what if you have to pay for a subscription to schoolism.com? Worth it. Totally worth it, man. You save so much time. And, time is money. It's true. The faster you get good at art, the faster you can start making money with art. You're going to get, that $50 a month for a subscription to New Masters. You're going to be making that money and more with the skills that you learn from that. So don't worry about the money if you can afford it, obviously. But if you can't afford it, then there's a ton of free YouTube resources that you can utilize too. So look for those. Look for Proko. Proko's a great free resource. There's a lot of free stuff out there too. So if you can't do the paid stuff, I'd say the paid stuff is better because you get more content. It's deeper. It's richer. But if you can't do that, then get that free content. Use that on YouTube. But anyway, yeah, those are things to do when you're frustrated with figure drawing. So yeah, I'm making this video because I'm frustrated with it right now, because it's like doing a new sport. It's like you've developed some skill in another area of drawing, and now you're trying to do a new one. It's like you're good at boxing, but now you're trying to grapple on the ground. And you're like, I don't know how to move my hips. I don't know what to do when somebody's lying on top of me. I don't understand weight. I don't understand how to avoid submissions, right? So it's like doing a new sport. It's not going to be that skill you have in boxing will teach you how to move your body. So you might pick up grappling faster, but it's a different game. So you gotta learn that different game. You gotta learn what to watch out for. You gotta learn where the traps are, right? Maybe the trap is getting too caught up in detail. Maybe the trap is that you rush, that you go too fast, and you need to learn to take more time. So you got to figure out, and the only way to get this stuff is through experience. Like, yes, those videos will help you, but so watch the videos, then go try it. You have to go try it. You have to keep applying yourself. Keep trying, because the only way you're really going to learn it is to do it. Because you're going to make those mistakes. You're going to make those mistakes. You're going to, do something to a knee. You're going to draw a knee a certain way, and you're going to look like, man, that knee looks just flat and ugly, and it doesn't look like that joint doesn't convince me at all. The way I'm rendering the form looks ugly, but you're only going to learn that through doing it. So get out there and draw, and then learn about drawing, and then go draw. You have to do it, and you have to learn about it. It has to be both. You can't just draw, and you can't just watch videos. You have to do both. So, all right, let's end this video here. This is Baxter once again. I'm Peter Anton, and I will see you next time. Goodbye, and happy drawing.